one of the former members of Paramore selling their final Riot DVD, that people often remember the intro and outro of a concert the most, and I think the same applies to other mediums such as narrative, movies, and of course, games. And in the case of games in particular, the ending is a crucial piece on how everything plays out. It is the final chance the game has to impress you, to challenge you in particular, to challenge everything you've managed to learn up to this point. As such, the soundtrack here has to go all out, whether it's in a mood, hyping you up.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to fuck some shit up.
Giving you a setting, giving you some sort of atmosphere.
COÑO!
But most importantly, it must encapsulate everything the game has done up to this point. The themes of the game, the struggles you and the characters are going through, and in some cases, even the history of the development team. Today we'll be talking about one of my favorite final boss themes ever. One that encapsulates the importance and difficulties of the game's development and its history. Today we'll be talking about Id Purpose from Fire Emblem Awakening. Let's start by talking about one of my favorite things in music, leitmotif. Now, what this is in simple terms is a musical phrase or melody that is heavily associated with a particular theme, character, event, or element in a story that's being presented. So for example, if we have a protagonist, and whenever they do something important or cool, a particular melody plays, that would be their theme. But if that particular melody is placed in other pieces, say for example when they're confessing their love for another person, that would be their leitmotif. It represents who they are. However, in some cases, leitmotif can be the theme of the game or of the series itself. Fire Emblem is one of Nintendo's oldest series, starting all the way back from the Famicom and coming to the US thanks to the release of Smash Bros. Melee and introducing players to Marth and Roy. And it is also thanks to that game that we're familiar with the Fire Emblem main theme. A theme that has made multiple appearances throughout the series, and thus, a sort of weight for fans. And it was used extremely effectively in Awakening. During the final boss fight, which I personally wish was a tad harder, the protagonists Chrom, Robin, and Lucina are facing the fell dragon Grima, who has created chaos and destruction on the kingdom of Ylisse, and of its future version. Now there are a few key points to keep in mind when talking about Fire Emblem Awakening. For one, it was originally meant to be the last Fire Emblem game ever created if it didn't meet the most minimal of expectations from Nintendo, meaning that everything was on the line for the developers. Second, the Kingdom of Ylisse was a more modern version of the Kingdom of Arcania, the Kingdom of Marth, the first hero of the series, and the place that he swore to protect, meaning that this place has history for fans of the series, a history that is about to be destroyed, and that for the player, would be the very last time commanding these armies. And Id Purpose grabs all of these previously mentioned elements and puts them in the forefront. The song begins in a minor key, one that with the right instrumentality and style can either be extremely sad, cold, or threatening. The song starts in an interesting way, as a war march with an accordion. Now the accordion to me has always been an instrument that represents European cultures, or certain dances, and romance. Romance is a pretty big thing in Awakening, and in other Fire Emblem games, especially with the support system, allowing characters to marry and have children that are also fighting for their future. Not only that, but the melody is a tragic version of another theme, usually associated with Robin and Chrom's relationship and friendship throughout the entire process of the game. as well as the children of the future, particularly their main star, Lucina. The song is simply known as It. The song has multiple versions throughout the game, both as serene pieces, such as the version Serenity, a battle theme in Hope, or a more painful and mournful piece, such as Eat Sorrow. This connection puts into perspective how important this fight is for this particular group specifically, and the bonds made between our protagonists. And once the choir and other instruments kick in, the mood is set. This is the final battle. This is the character's last chance for survival. Going from an intense choir to a more quieter moment with the accordion once again. As the fight moves forward through different points of you having the advantage and the enemy overtaking you, and Grima almost possessing you, the player, Robin. But the song is also introspective, as there are quiet moments, slower segments, in which you can just imagine the character thinking about everything they are going through, and building up the determination to fight. And then, when the song changes rhythm, a male choir sings, as to call forth the destruction Grima is about to bring to them. And then, a dark, melancholic version of the Fire Emblem theme begins to play. The very first song you hear when turning on the game. It is very much in the opening, and in the title screen itself. The choir even calling for the Fire Emblem, almost as humanity itself is calling forth the Fire Emblem to lead the heroes to glory. This particular segment has always made my back chill, especially when considering the history of the theme. The song continues to build up and slow down, never fully offering full satisfying payoff, making you wait and acknowledge the situation. And when the choir calls for the Fire Emblem, not only the satisfaction of the choir hitting specific notes to resolve the melody effectively musically, but from a writing perspective, it encapsulates everything. The stress and intelligence systems was going through in the development of this game, the history that players have had with this series, and the myriad of characters that it possesses, the bonds formed through all the supports, and the stories shared. The stories shared and the future worth protecting for the characters and for the future players who are finally getting the chance to jump into the series, and that will join with later installments as well. This song shows you how much everything is on the line for everyone involved in this game. And as such, the pressure is on you, the player. It is on you to defeat the darkness that threatens the very world of Fire Emblem, and stand victorious like you've either done so many times before, or like others have done before you. Now, the song doesn't need to rely on a leitmotif or the series' or game's main theme to be a fantastic song. We have examples for this with Nier Automata, which has a song Dependent Weakling as its final boss theme, and it is a beautiful, strong piece. We can even see this with Xenoblade Chronicles, with its final boss theme, the God-Slaying Sword. However, it gives so much more weight and power when the melody you recognize is here during the final battle. And there are so many other examples of games doing this. Serpent in the Horizon from Bravely Default is one of my favorite examples. I recommend watching a video by GameScore Fanfare, as the video explains it perfectly, and admittedly it also inspired me to make this particular video. Another good example is War's End from Kibiga's Uprising, which uses the main theme for the villain, Hades, as a basis and main melody for the majority of the piece, and even implements moments of triumph for the main theme of the game. Trauma Team using Vulnerability, the main theme of the game Trauma Center's Second Opinion, to give the series a sense of finality and closure. Another fantastic example is the final song from Drakengard 3, Final Song in Black Scales, which uses the main themes of all the other characters you have fought up to that point. Leitmotif is an extremely strong tool, and if used effectively, it can give a piece a sense of weight and importance and change how you see that final encounter. In Fire Emblem Awakening, for as much as it might be criticized by other members of the Fire Emblem community, I think they did a fantastic job with this final boss track. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is another style of video that I'm trying to do here. It is more scripted, it is more edited, and I'm not gonna be stopping doing Let's Plays unless you guys want me to stop doing Let's Plays. But I wanna see what you guys think of this particular style of video. More analysis-based videos, more thought-provoking, not thought-provoking, more scripted, more consideration to what's being said. So if you like this style of video, let me know. Once again, I recommend checking GameScore Fanfare, who was the content creator who inspired me to make this particular video. If you want more content that gives you information about music, another good place would be Sideways, which gave me a lot of musical knowledge that I know right now, and also gave me a lot of taught me a lot of the terminology that I'm using in this video. And also recommend watching 8-Bit Music Theory, who analyzes a lot of video game music specifically, as I have done here, but going a lot more in depth and into more advanced content. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's see how this goes. I do have some other ideas that I would like to touch upon, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully next time we'll be talking about Nier Automata and its importance as a game, and as a writing piece in general. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm the RunnerGuitar, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep on rocking!